now playing from right to left. Brendan O'Sullivan breaking up the stalemate for Cork. Cross towards John Madden. Runs on towards Tony O'Sullivan, who got the first point of the match in the first half, and he's looking for the first point of the second half. And that he's got after just 19 seconds. Tony O'Sullivan's third point of the game. John Madden whipping it away, only as far as John Fitzgibbon. Comes out to Tony O'Sullivan, tidy and economical, and he has the style and the subtlety to strike a second point. Two attacks, both to Tony O'Sullivan, both points, sides level. Good pace, good control, good vision as well, into English. And Tip are in front again. Tony O'Sullivan turning this way and that. Finally against Bobby Ryan, he lobs it in towards John Fitzgibbon. John Madden touching it, and it's stripped in, it's a goal for John Fitzgibbon of Cork. A second Cork goal, and the Rebels go back in front. 5 minutes into the second half, Tony O'Sullivan again held it up nicely, lobbed it across. Madden was in some trouble. Watch as it came down, and Fitzgibbon kept his eye on it, waited for the mistake, and whipped it in past Ken Hogan. Cork ahead by 2 points. Mark Foley. A point. That's a goal and 3 points now for the man in the 40. The gentle giant of Cork hurling puts 3 points between the teams. Conal Bonner trying to get tight on O'Sullivan, who scored 2 points and contributed a goal as well. That one which John Fitzgibbon scored. And he's got a point. This is really an all-star type performance. Tip fans looking on nervously and anxiously. Beautifully dropped in towards Nicky English. Again he does well. Showing good athletic style and a deadly finish. He's now scored a goal and 3 points, just looking through the notes we make here. Denny Ryan waits inside, waits expectedly as Paul Delaney, who scored 8 points in Munster finals over the last few years, sees this one taken by Brendan O'Sullivan. Stopped by John Kennedy, but Mark Foley gets there ahead of him. And Mark Foley puts it over the bar. The best game he's ever played, surely, at senior level. That's a goal now and 4 points for the Timor League man, 23 years of age, making his Munster final debut. Brilliantly struck high and brilliantly struck over the bar. Cork making a change, and coming into their team is Anthony O'Sullivan, and he comes in place of David Quirk. Tipperary then seeking to bridge a 4-point gap, something they're well capable of with plenty of time remaining. That was Brendan O'Sullivan touching it down. Anthony O'Sullivan quickly into the fray. Robbed by Bobby Ryan. Kicking it away towards Declan Ryan. John Moore awarding the free to Cork, and this should be another point. Over the bar from Kevin Hennessy, and that's Cork's first point from Hennessy, and it's also the first point they score from a free. They lead by 5 points. So Tipperary really with a battle on their hands if they're to hold on to their Munster and All-Ireland title. This would be one of the big upsets of the season. Joe Hayes, Jim Cashman. It's a real test for Tip's skill and character once again, but they've not been found wanting in the past. John Madden towards Michael Cleary's wing. Dennis Walsh over there, Jim Cashman coming to his assistance. John Kennedy under the dropping ball there with Kevin Hennessy, who outfields him, just played inside towards Mark Foley. He's having one of the games of his life. Mark Foley has scored a goal and 5 points, and I don't think I've ever seen him play a senior match better than this. Towards Mark Foley. He's having one of the games of his life. Mark Foley has scored a goal and 5 points, and I don't think I've ever seen him play a senior match opened up a 6-point gap with a quarter of an hour gone in the second half. Mark Foley is really making his presence felt, holding off those tackles with ease and with comfort, and he slots it over the bar effortlessly. Michael Cleary avails of the opportunity to tap it over the bar. So it's a 5-point gap once again. The race across here won by Jim Cashman. Stakelum under it, but again the backs apply the pressure. Stakelum. Good rumbustious run forward by Stakelum towards Nicky English. Most things targeted towards him. That's Cleary, and that's a point. A good example of a player feeding well off the leader of the attack, and now they've cut it back to just a 4-point difference. Stakelum did well, got it forward as far as Nicky English. Realised that he needed support, and Cleary was there to feed off him and drop it over the crossbar. Bobby Ryan. Joe Hayes. Neat pick up by John Lahey. Got through 2 defenders. Joe Hayes again. Declan Ryan looking his first point of the afternoon, and an important one. It comes with 16 minutes to go, and Tip have cut it back to just a 3-point difference, a goal between the teams. Hayes very much involved in the build-up. Declan Ryan was 45 metres out, and the clubmates linked up, and the Clonulty man tapped it over. It's a thirsty afternoon. Michael Cleary, the free taker. Dropped safely over the crossbar. There are just 2 between them. 1-4 now for Michael Cleary. And Cork are getting ready. Cathal Casey. Cathal, who can play midfield or even in the half-forward line. So Pat Buckley comes off, so it's going to be, I think, a midfielder for a midfielder. Cork, I think, were worried about the impression that Colin Bonner was making. Ken Hogan waits, and it'll be Cathal Casey who's just come in as a sub to take his first sideline cut. And a bad one at that, straight to Paul Delaney. But on a day when things are going pretty well for Cork, he takes the return and puts it over the bar. And Casey has scored a point within seconds of coming on, and there are 3 between them again. Nine minutes to go. Cathal Casey against Colin Bonner, but it's Bonner who wins the battle of the midfield substitutes, getting by Jim Cashman. Blocked down by Shawnee McCarthy. Back to Michael Cleary, and again a fine shot by Michael Cleary. He's slotting the ball effortlessly over the crossbar, and that's the margin now. Back to Cathal Casey, one of the stars of their minor team a couple of years ago, to Tony O'Sullivan, who started the half so pleasantly and so prominently. Anthony O'Sullivan bats it back in. The leaguered stations back there. A real backs-to-the-wall situation as Bobby Ryan clears it out for Tipperary. Out towards Conor Stakelum, picked up by Michael Cleary instead. Up to Nicky English. And the lead with the top again. Getting a point. And now there is just a point between the teams. That's a goal and 4 points now, which Nicky English has contributed. He's getting there ahead of Sean O'Gorman whenever that ball is played up to him, and he really is causing havoc.